Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing absolutely fantastic. We are at the USA International Speedway here with an event put on by two fat guys sim racing promotions called the Missile Punch-Out. We have the Jettas on dirt. Looks like 14 drivers signed in for action. Practice about ready to conclude. We're going to roll right into heat racing action here in about 15 seconds. Tim, we've been watching some of this practice. What do you think of these cars on dirt?
Very quiet. Very quiet. It's going to be... I wasn't on board yet, but I will assume that it's going to be tough to hear any car to the outside or inside. So it's going to be fun seeing that come into play.
Yeah, absolutely. These cars are a lot quieter than what we're used to. But, folks, race time is upon us. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 1. On row number 1 is going to be Trevor Williams and Brent Beavers. Row 2 is going to be Jason Michaud, maybe? I'm not sure. Hopefully I didn't butcher that terribly. And Chad Stewart on the outside. Row number 3 is going to be A.J. Hunsinger and Jared Helms. And row 4 is going to be Joshua Stewart. All right. We should be taking all the drivers into the feature event here tonight, so we're just going to have a couple of quick heats and rolling into feature action. Again, if this is your first time tuning in on the Buckeye Racing Network, we want to welcome everybody in. If you're a fan rooting for a driver, let us know out there in the chat who you're pulling for here tonight. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you know each and every time we go live here on the channel. All right, is the pace truck going to peel off? We're going to get one more. Looks like we're going to get one more pace lap here before we launch things off. You know, and this sim racing, two fat guys sim racing promotions puts on what they call their sim racing season, and they've got a quite loaded schedule all throughout the off season of real life racing, and this is their second event of this season. The first event we were part of here, the Truckers Tangle 40. That was a very fun, awesome event to put on. Awesome to be up in the broadcast booth for. This is race number 2 of their season, and they're going to continue rolling on. We will be back for one more later on, but looks like pace truck is going to be peeling off this time. Trevor Williams hits the gas. Green flag is in the air. I couldn't hardly tell if he was going or not. Like you said, Tim, these things are so quiet. The car is barreling down into turn number 1, side by side for a second on back. Looks like Jason Machad on the inside was able to get around Brent Beavers. Puts him into the second position for now. Beavers back to third. A.J. Hunsinger down low as well. He's looking to improve on his starting spot here early on. What a launch for Trevor, Tim, on this first lap.
Yeah, it just looks like we're going down a highway right now. That's all I can picture.
Yeah. Well, it looks like everybody from second on back is following behind the State Highway Patrol Trooper, which would be Trevor Williams, and they're just waiting for him to get out of the way so they can go, if you know what I'm talking about. First and second now clear. They're single file. Battle is still on for third. Now A.J. Hunsinger clears himself for third. Joshua Stewart, Jason Machad side by side. Machad's working the outside. That's not working to his advantage right now. Chad Stewart now works his way by Jason as well. Jared Helms is going to take a peek to the inside as long as the door is still open.
Oh, here comes Brent Beavers. Contact for the lead. he's
Oh,
side by side. We got contact in the back as well.
yeah,
That's between Chad Stewart and Jared Helms.
absolutely. It looks like Trevor Williams all the way up on the top shelf. He's going to lose second and I think third as they go down into turn 3. A.J. Hunsinger into P2. Like you said, Brent Beavers, new leader for now. Hunsinger stays committed down low, and I think that's the line to be in. Tyler Bickford says, these things electric? I don't know. It sure sounds like they are, but but they're not as far as we're aware.
They are not, but I don't believe they are. I'll look at the car info right now.
As Tim gathers that info, Brent Beavers takes the white flag here just one more time around in Heat 1. Joshua Stewart, A.J. Hunsinger fighting hard to beat P2. They bounce off of one another in the middle of 1 and 2. Move Hunsinger into second. For now, Stewart back to third, and Trevor Williams is going to send it up the inside into turn 3. As they make contact, more contact, Williams slides across the nose. Brent Beavers is going to come across the line and win Heat 1. A.J. Hunsinger will be second. Trevor Williams third. Joshua Stewart fourth. Jared Helms fifth. Jason Machad sixth. And Chad Stewart rounds out the field in Heat 1 there in the 7th position. Starting lineup for our second and final heat here on row 1 is going to be Randall Hickman and James Murphy. Row 2 will be Jared Murphy and Alex Kubelis. Row number 3 will be Patrick Velez and Benjamin Wirt. And row 4 is going to be Mitch Maynard.
It is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder TDI diesel. Is what it says. It says it has 168 brake horsepower and about 280 pounds of torque at 1900 to 2500 RPM.
I'll tell you what, these VWs have been in the iRacing sim for a long time. I think, were these one of the first vehicles? It might be one of the first vehicles that was offered in the sim.
I will...
All that time ago now. So they've been around a long time. It's good to see Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions giving these vehicles a nod here to include them in this season. On the dirt, of course. Only 168 horses under the hood of these VWs. Looks like Randall Hickman not going to start Heat 2, so
yeah.
only 6 cars.
The Volkswagen Jetta has been in iRacing. Doesn't say when, but this is telling me the season in September of 09 they were added.
All right, yeah. So they've been around for a long time. Pace truck is off. Green flag is in the air. Jared Murphy's going to lead this charge down into turn 1. Brother James Murphy right behind him on his rear bumper. Patrick Velez clear into position number 3. Mitch Maynard and Alex Kubelis battling side by side. Looks like Mitch Maynard makes quick work of Alex Kubelis. He goes into 4th. Ben Wirt rounds the field out there in the 6th spot. Looks like Mitch Maynard's going to take a peek to the inside of Patrick Velez out of turn number 4. And into turn 1, Mitch Maynard up a couple of spots, making 4 spots from his starting position here in heat number 2. Meanwhile, Jared Murphy and James Murphy are trying to check out, and Jared Murphy, in familiar colors, if you're familiar with the sim, he's got the pace car colors on his Jetta here tonight, so it looks like he's pacing everybody around. Brother James has NYPD on the side of his race car. I'm telling you, Mitch Maynard's making some good time. He's caught James Murphy for that second place position. Alex Kubelis is going to complete the pass on Patrick Velez and move into the 4th spot. Velez back to position 5. Keep an eye on this battle for second. And meanwhile, Jared Murphy is pulling away up to 1.4 seconds over his brother James. Single file throughout the field up to this point. And Mitch Maynard's not going to let James Murphy rest easily. That's the closest battle on the racetrack. That's position 2 and 3. Already just a couple to go here in Heat 2.
Well, it's a good thing that they have the truck, the pace truck, and not the pace car. Because I'm sure I'd get lost looking at the pace car.
Absolutely. Jared Murphy takes the white flag just one more time around, and he's opened up that advantage over a second and a half. Nice and smooth through 1 and 2. Meanwhile, behind, James Murphy is fending off Mitch Maynard. Still single file throughout the 6 cars running. Jared Murphy uses the bottom here in 3 and 4 out of turn 4 to the line. Jared Murphy wins Heat 2. Brother James comes home in 2nd. Mitch Maynard 3rd. Alex Kubelis 4th. Patrick Velez 5th. And here's Ben Wirt losing control down the front straightaway. Heavy contact with the inside wall. He throws it in reverse to take the checkered flag. Ben Wirt in 6th there, and Randall Hickman did not start, credited with 7th there in Heat number 2.
I will use that as a reference to not let Mr. Benjamin Wirt drive.
Absolutely. Now, just for reference for people that don't know, Benjamin Wirt is one of the admins with Regal Promotions Esports. We broadcast that series on Monday nights and know him quite well. So he knows all joking and fun set aside. All the meanwhile, warm-up session is up. 5 minutes on the clock. I'm sure the admin's going to let this run out. All while they're doing that, we're going to step aside for a few moments, get a word from our sponsors, and also play a few other commercials as well. We'll be right back for the start of the main event. All right, everybody, welcome back in. Underneath of a minute to go in our warm-up session. Some of the drivers have made their way on to the racetrack to get in some more laps and run the track in just a little bit. Again, big thanks to all of the sponsors, especially ours over at Premier Racing Setups. Don't forget to use the code Buckeye15 for 15% off of a setup pack. Try Premier Racing Setups today. Well, Tim, any expectations as right before we get to our starting lineup for our feature event?
LA bumper to bumper traffic.
Yes.
That's all I can think of.
Yes, I like the sound of that.
I expect the guys near the back to be real aggressive.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here for our A main. Brent Beavers, Jared Murphy on the front row. AJ Hunsinger, James Murphy, row 2. We'll see them just a little while racing as well. We got another broadcast coming up after this one. Row 3, Trevor Williams and Mitch Maynard. Row 4, Joshua Stewart and Alex Kubelis. Row number 5 will be Jared Helms and Patrick Velez. Row 6 will be Jason Machad and Benjamin Wirt. Row number 7 is going to be Chad Stewart and Randall Hickman. .30 laps the distance. Randall Hickman not going to start, so 13 cars racing for 30 laps here tonight. We're just waiting to roll behind the iRacing pace truck. Like you said, Tim, it is a good thing we have a pace truck out there because I'm telling you, you see Jared Murphy's paint scheme in the iRacing colors on his Jetta, and it would almost make you believe we have 2 pace cars out there.
Yeah, I mean that's almost identical to the pace car. If not, it is identical.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very close. Very close. Like you said, drivers in the back going to be trying to make their way through the LA traffic to get to the front of the field. And Brent Beavers and Jared Murphy has got to hold them all off behind them. Field will go green this time as we work through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. All right, pace truck is going to peel off. Everybody, let's get ready to go racing here at USA International Speedway in the main event. Green flag is in the air. We are ready to rock and roll for 30 laps. All right, field barrels through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway for the first time. Brent Beavers hanging tough on the inside of Jared Murphy. Will the outside prevail for Jared? It looks like it might, but Beavers is still right there on the quarter. Out of turn 4, Jared Murphy with the momentum on the outside will lead lap number 1. Meanwhile, James Murphy, AJ Hunsinger side by side for the third spot. Oh, be careful. Hunsinger hit the grass, and the left side tires came completely up off of the racetrack. He was only rolling on 2 wheels for a split second. Trevor Williams going to try to take a peek to the inside, and AJ covers that off getting into turn 3, but opens the door out of turn 4 and down the front straightaway. You know, it's safe to say, Tim, I think the bottom line has shown dominance here tonight. We've seen a couple drivers get way up high, and it just hasn't worked the way they would hope if you move way up the track. Oh! Contact between Williams and Helms. Just minor, though. Joshua Stewart trying to follow Helms through. Side by side is James Murphy and Jason Michaud. James tried using the outside, and he did lose a handful of spots back to 7th. He's going to tuck in line now down on the inside and follow Joshua Stewart around. Meanwhile, Jared Murphy, I tell you, he's got something figured out with this car and track combination, because he did really well in his heat. And he's leading the feature so far 4 laps in.
Yeah, it looks like they're keeping it real wide.
Uh-oh. They're stacking him up on the inside of turn 4. There, I believe A.J. Hunsinger, he had a really good run into turn 3. And he got into, I believe that was Brent Beavers, and it kind of stacked the whole 3 of them up on the inside. Luckily, everybody was able to continue on. More contact, Beavers and Joshua Stewart. Look at James Murphy. He's trying to send it in and maybe make it 3 wide through 3 and 4.
No, he's just trying to get a pit maneuver out there. That's a hit and run. Brett Beavers. He failed to exchange information.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. James Murphy driving it hard into turn 3. Car's going to kind of go up the hill, and they make minor contact with Josh Stewart. More contact behind. I believe Mitchell Maynard was part of that. And I'm not sure who made contact with him to get him up out of the groove, but he's able to continue there in the 12th spot. Oh, man, we have a crazy battle here for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Joshua Stewart, A.J. Hunsinger, Jason Michaud, and Trevor Williams. One big conglomerate here. Top 3 have kind of pulled away and have settled into their own rhythm for now. Jared Murphy up to 0.6 of a second advantage over Jared Helms. For the moment, things are calm. Let's take a quick peek back a little bit further. Patrick Velez leaving the door open for Mitch Maynard. Maynard thought about taking advantage of it through 3 and 4. Let's see what Velez does this time into turn 1. He does run the bottom there to close off any opportunity for Maynard to get underneath of him. Back up front with Jared Murphy. He's got about 0.6 of a second back to Jared Helms, and it's been a pretty steady gap up to this point as we have 10 laps down, 20 to go. Oh man, look at that, Tim. James is getting pushed through the corner by the 52 of Joshua Stewart.
Hey man, that's an NYPD vehicle. I wouldn't want to mess with that.
Well, you know what? Maybe they're just trying to work together to push each other up to the top 3. Maybe that's what it is. Uh-oh, contact. Still making contact out of turn 2, Joshua Stewart, James Murphy. More door banging through turns 3 and 4. That's going to allow A.J. Hunsinger to take a peek, and he's going to turn the 52. Joshua Stewart into the inside wall down the front straightaway. He's going to keep going, though. Oh, be careful, the 71. The 0-1, heavy contact. Patrick Velez carrying a ton of momentum into turn 1. I think he was trying to miss everything that was going on. Let's see if we can ride on board with Patrick. As he worked down the front straightaway, you see there's the 52 of Stewart. He comes back up the racetrack in front of the car in front of him. The 71 tries to avoid him, and Velez, from his point of view, just committed to his normal line into one. And as he did that, the calamity happened in front of him, and he just got collected up into that one. Unfortunate there for Patrick. Looks like he's going to be able to continue, though. Still not quite to the halfway point here tonight. Or here in this one, I should say. So far, Jared Helms would be our hard charger if the checkered flag was to wave. +7, ninth to second. So far in 12 completed laps. It's a good job for Jared, and he's got the speed. Let's see if he's able to challenge Jared Murphy, his competitor here, in the closing laps. Lights go out on the pace truck. Field goes 2x2 for the restart. Tim, how about you get us going here on this one?
All right. Jared Murphy taking a spin in that iRacing pace car machine is going to lead him down the back stretch. They're going to calmly roll through 3 and 4 as Jared fires, gets a good launch over the rest of the field. Jared Helms completes the pass for second as we got beaten and banging for third between James Murphy and Brett Beavers.
Yeah, 2x2. I think Jared Helms is going to take a peek, try to battle Jared Murphy. 2 Jareds, 1 and 2. Murphy on the outside, Helms on the inside. Helms, I think, has the inside line. No. Murphy cuts across his nose, but Helms ain't going to let him just do that. James Murphy, he makes contact with the back of Helms. Uh-oh, the 170 machine was going around back there. Was he able to collect it? No, he was not. That car spun to a stop at the inside of the back straightaway. He's going to get that car righted. Let's go back and try and decipher what all happened there. We're taking a look at Chad Stewart. Did he get some help? Yes, Chad Stewart did get some help from behind from the 69 machine of Mitch Maynard. Maynard got into the left rear and spun Chad Stewart around. Doesn't look like Chad ended up with any damage from that. Now, I guess he's got some on the right rear as he kind of backed it into the retaining wall there, but he will be able to rejoin the field. No problem. Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, up to this point, Jared Murphy had been dominant. Then on that short green flag run, Jared Helms was challenging Murphy. So it'll be interesting to see what Jared Helms decides to do here in the closing laps. It looks like he had a pretty good run on the inside there, but Jared Murphy was able to kind of cover that off. lights do go out on the pace truck. As we are 2 by 2 by 2. Interesting to note, the pace truck dives off late. It's right at the exit of turn 4, so looks like Jared Murphy giving that pace truck plenty of time to get off of the racing surface. Again, the field has to go on Jared Murphy, so he gets to pick when he accelerates.
Is he going right now?
He fires away. Green flag goes back in the air. We might be 3 wide for 4th into turn 1. No, looks like, I think that's Brent Beavers closed off the outside.
Oh, a bumping.
Oh my, one car up and over. I think that is Brent Beavers. It is. My goodness. We'll have to go back and take another look at this. I believe it happened, the first part of that chain reaction was James Murphy getting spun. So we'll take a look at that. As, yeah, James Murphy did clear Jared Helms into turn 1, and Helms just laid into the rear bumper and did not let up. That spun the 6 machine of James Murphy around. Looks like Brent Beavers tried to avoid that, and as he did that, he made contact with James Murphy and sent his car up into the outside wall. And you see Brent Beavers going up and over. Pretty significant damage to his machine. As the car did find its way onto all 4 tires at the end of that one, but again, significant damage to Brent Beavers in the 27.
It's a good thing it's a sim.
Absolutely, you aren't wrong. Now we are just past the halfway point. Field should get the 1 to go signal this time. They do. All right, Tim, how about you get us going for this restart?
Alrighty, Jared Murphy, our leader. We'll stack them up. Route 3. He's not giving the pace car much time, but let's see where he rolls. He fires now as Trevor Williams is on the chase.
All the cars file in turn 1. Let's see how clean we are into 1. Oh, man, Trevor Williams just shot the gap between Jared Murphy and A.J. Hunsinger, and there was contact there. Don't know how they saved from wrecking it. As the 4th caution is displayed here, let's take a look at what happened. I think it happened just a little bit further back from the battle we were watching. Keep an eye on that all-black machine with the 13 on the side of it. That's Ben Wirt driving that. Let's see what happens to him as we go through 1 and 2. Looks like he's running a little higher than everybody else, and he gets some help from behind. Looks like Chad Stewart makes contact with him, and Brent Beavers gets a little piece of it. So Chad Stewart, Benjamin Wirt, a part of this one. As all the drivers will be. Those 2 drivers are going to catch up to the back of the field. Here at rejoin should be in the 12th and 13th positions. Looks like they've shortened up this caution. Lights are already out on the pace truck up in front. Man, these restarts have proven treacherous. Guess it all depends on what happens into turn one. Drivers trying to get everything they can get as they turn the car into turn one. Pace truck peels off. Jared Murphy fires. We're back to green flag conditions. Look at the run A.J. Hunsinger has down low into turn one. Is he going to take the second spot? No, Trevor Williams with the momentum around the outside and holds on to it for now. Jason Machad trying to make this a four-car battle for the lead. Then behind him is Alex Kubelis and Patrick Velez. They're side by side. Velez on the inside, Kubelis in the purple car on the outside. And just behind that battle, a couple positions, is Joshua Stewart and Jared Helms. As I think Stewart and Helms made contact, that allows the 27 of Beavers to get by Helms. Helms back to position 10, Beavers to 9th. Stewart taking a peek to the inside of Alex Kubelis. James Murphy trying to make his way back up through as he's to the inside of Velez for that 5th spot. Move James Murphy, that is, into 5th. Oh, but Velez is trying to have something else to say about that as they might make a little bit of contact. Let's see what happens into turn 3. Velez might send it up the inside. No, he thinks better of it. He's got a challenge now from the 52 of Josh Stewart, and Stewart turns him around, and he goes into the outside wall. That brings out our 5th caution here tonight. Keep an eye on the 0-1 of Velez. Looks like Velez enters down low. You see him using a little bit of brake there. Joshua Stewart on his outside, and those cars kind of get stuck together in a way. The heavy contact they're making with one another, and that Velez just kind of gets a little bit of momentum, and Stewart still turning to the left turns the 0-1 machine across his nose. And the 0-1 of Velez definitely has the worst end of this one.
Yeah, Velez just couldn't get the rotation needed to avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. As the field's going to go back 2 by 2, maybe trying to shorten this yellow up and try to go green this time, as I think that is the plan. Yep, pace truck peels off. Jared Murphy fires back to green flag action once again. One car trailing the field. I think that's the 13 machine of Ben Wirt. Jared Murphy clear, then Trevor Williams, and then it's side by side for the 3rd spot between James Murphy and A.J. Hunsinger. Murphy on the inside, Hunsinger on the outside. Tell you what, the middle of this track, I think, Tim, wants to come in just a little bit, as drivers aren't losing as much time if they're in the middle compared to the inside. Looks like Hunsinger is able to kind of hold his own there.
Yeah, it does look like the middle's coming in. Kind of like, I don't know, it's like a mixture between, I guess, just a diamond line and a slider, at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Drivers trying some different things out. I think there was some contact between A.J. Hunsinger and Trevor Williams. That sent Trevor Williams a lot higher than what he wanted to be. He's going to lose 2 spots, almost 3. As he does lose 3 as Josh Stewart squeaks by. Trevor Williams now back to position 5, and he slams the door on the 27 of Brent Beavers. Beavers has got a bumper full of Jared Helms behind him. This battle for second isn't over. A.J. Hunsinger has it. James Murphy wants it. Great battling for second. Great battling just behind for the fifth spot. Brent Beavers on the inside. Trevor Williams on his outside. And you got the likes of the 46 machine of Jason Machado and Jared Helms behind, just trying to find a way around those two. They don't want to go any higher than Trevor Williams. If you go any higher than that, you're going to lose a ton of time.
James, with maybe just a slight little bump, gave A.J. Hunsinger maybe just a little...
Oh, one car spinning back there. I believe it's Brent Beavers. Mitch Maynard's a part of it as well. 6 caution flag in the air. And I think Chad Stewart and Patrick Velez also part of that. We'll have to go back and take a look at it. Pull up our replay here. Keep an eye on the 27 machine up. The 27 hit that grassy area, and the car got upset. When he did that, he got into the 1 machine of Trevor Williams. There's Jared Helms right behind him, making contact, spinning the 27 machine around. And there's Mitch Maynard already committed to the bottom, nowhere to go. Heavy contact with the 27. There's the 71 of Kubelis, works his way by. And then I think what happened here with Velez and Stewart, I think those guys were just maybe trying to check up as well, getting into the corner, seeing what was happening in front, and that was kind of a chain reaction event to the crash in front of them. All right, inside of 10 laps to go. In this one, I believe we're going to get a single file restart here. That should make things a little bit easier for Jared Murphy to hold off. Everybody else behind him. Pace truck is off. Green flag is already back in the air. All the drivers accelerating down the front straightaway. Now 4 laps to go. Great start for Jared Murphy. A.J. Hunsinger into second. Then there's James Murphy and Josh Stewart. James Murphy, a great run out of turn 2. Is he going to try to make a move into 3? This time, not this time. Joshua Stewart thought about it as well back there in the 4th spot. Single file for much of the field. First battle side by side. That's going to be Brent Beavers and Benjamin Wirt. Beavers goes into the 10th spot. Benjamin Wirt back to 11th for now. Chad Stewart going to try to follow Brent Beavers through on the inside. Already 2 to go. Wow, A.J. Hunsinger didn't get into turn 1 the way he wanted to and opens up the door. James Murphy says thank you very much. Into position 2 he goes. A.J. Hunsinger back to 3rd. He's going to try to cover the bottom against Josh Stewart behind. Oh, Josh Stewart, he left enough of an opening. Josh Stewart looks underneath of him. Flagman has the white flag in the air just one more time. Around USA here tonight. Stewart hits that grassy area and jumps sideways. He goes... Oh my goodness, heavy contact with Jared Helms. Those 2 drivers will be able to continue, but up front, it's all Jared Murphy in this one, as he's got enough of an advantage back to his brother James. Out of turn 4, Jared Murphy wins the Missle punch-out. His brother James will be 2nd tonight, and A.J. Hunsinger drives his way to a 3rd place finish. excuse me, a third place finish. Tim, I'm not sure what I just said right
I
there.
I don't even know what you just
I
said,
don't
dude.
know. We're not gonna dwell on it too much. We will get to talk to our top three here. We'll go through the final race results. They're going to stop on the front straightaway. We'll pull up the final results here from USA. And we talked about the Murphy brothers and A.J. Hunsinger on the podium. Trevor Williams drove his way to a fourth place finish. Fifth is going to go to Mitch Maynard. Sixth is going to go to Brett Beavers. Seventh to Jason Machad. Eighth to Alex Kubelis. Ninth to Jared Helms. 10th to Chad Stewart. 11th is going to go to Patrick Velez. 12th to Josh Stewart. 13th to Benjamin Wirt. And 14th is going to go to Randall Hickman. We're going to get our interviews kicked off. Start with our third place finisher here tonight, A.J. Hunsinger. Hey, AJ, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boys.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I've never seen these Jettas on dirt. Was it as fun as it looked tonight driving these things? Was it maybe challenging? Because it looked like the bottom line was definitely dominant here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The bottom worked. There's a momentum thing with these things. You got to keep your momentum up. Take the shortest line possible. In 3 and 4, you could kind of move up a little bit, like a half a lane. It was all right, but I wasn't even shifting. I heard a lot of guys were running the fourth gear in the center, and I tried that a little bit, but it just didn't seem like it made any difference. So I just stayed in fifth gear, and yeah, it was just a momentum thing. Finished third.
Absolutely a great showing for you here in this one. Tim, do you have anything to ask AJ?
Yeah, AJ, it's certainly not the vehicles you run uh every Sunday. What was so difficult to adapt to this?
For me, it's just the amount you got to turn the wheel to the left. You really got to turn these wheels pretty much like all the way 90 degrees to the left to go around the corners, and that's weird. That's super difficult to understand. And then there's really no like oversteering, so you're never turning right. It seems like so. If I had to say one thing, that's probably the most difficult thing. You're just constantly turning really far left in the corners.
All right, AJ, I know we got the League of Outlaws event upcoming here in just about an hour's time, and we'll see you there. But before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, I think Mitch for what he's doing. This is kind of fun doing this one-off stuff. So I appreciate him doing that, and he's doing a great job. I thank my guys at League of Outlaws that showed up tonight. That was fun. We got 1, 2, 3 there at the League of Outlaws, so that was pretty neat. So kudos to them guys. We had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations finishing third here in this one, and we'll let you get ready for the League of Outlaws event coming up.
Yep. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you here in a couple hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that was third place finisher AJ Hunsinger. Now we'll move on and talk to our second place finisher, Mr. James Murphy. Hey, James, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. What a fantastic run for you in this one. You had to go to the back once. You moved your way back up, used the bumper, door banged a little bit. It looked a lot of fun out there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, these cars, it's hard to pass without getting a little bit of contact, but I went to the back and I just put my head down and just tried to pass everybody back and try not to cause too much trouble. But was able to get back. I was riding there in third, and AJ just messed up, and I was able to get by him, and I'm happy for second.
Absolutely. Tim, do you have anything to ask James?
Yeah, how difficult was it to set up a pass? It looked like there wasn't very much uh any. It didn't seem like there was much of any momentum change throughout the runs, but what did you do best to set yourself up to make the pass?
You gotta look low, and if they leave you the lane, you gotta take it. If they don't, it's either hit them or lift. I mean, so it's hard to pass people without the contact here in these cars, but it was doable, and we had a fun race.
Absolutely, James. Well, I know we got another broadcast coming up. You're going to be a part of it there with the League of Outlaws. Are you looking to continue your dominance early on in this brand new season?
Oh, you're always looking to win anytime you can. It's never guaranteed because of all the fast people in the league, but you're always looking to win.
All right. Well, James, before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Thank y'all for the broadcast. Mitch for putting all this stuff on. Everybody with the League of Outlaws and Talking Dirt.
All right, James. Well, I expect to be talking to you here in a couple hours' time. We'll let you get ready for that event coming up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That was second place finisher James Murphy. Now let's talk to the winner. Jared, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. What a night for you here with these VW Jettas. I think you had these cars figured out. You dominated the heat. You dominated the feature. Kept everybody at bay behind you. How were you able to do it?
We did a practice race here a couple months ago when he was trying to pick a track, and I think I was the slowest guy on the track, so I did the right thing. Made about 3 laps tonight. So they still hard to drive and slow. So I don't know. I was slow in hot laps, so I don't know why I found speed at. I did the same thing the entire night. I got a good draw in my heat race, and just led out of the lap.
Absolutely, you sure did that. Tim, do you have anything to ask Jared?
Oh, you say you did the same thing. How difficult is it to be consistent in this combo here?
It's different because you're going so slow, so it's easy to make a mistake. We normally used to driving faster vehicles, so if you make a mistake in one of these things, it takes forever to get back up to speed. So it was pretty difficult, but I had to try to hit my line every lap.
Absolutely. Jared, I know we talked to James and AJ. You guys are all part of the League of Outlaws, and you guys got your next league event coming up here in about an hour's time. I know you got to get ready for that. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Thank you all for all the awesome broadcasts. Mitch with Two Fat Guys Racing, League of Outlaws, and Talking Dirt.
All right, Jared. Well, congratulations once again, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you here at the end of the League of Outlaws event here in just a little while.
I sure hope so. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to conclude our interviews here tonight for this Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions event. I know we're going to wrap things up here, Tim. What did you think of these Jettas?
I can see why nobody races them in officials, or they got rid of the official. They don't. It doesn't produce the feeling of actually racing. I feel like with the noise, the atmosphere is just it's different, but maybe they should bring them back because these boys put on a really good show tonight.
Absolutely, they sure did. And again, a big shout out to Mitch Maynard and all the guys at Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions for putting on these events and having us here at the Buckeye Racing Network be a part of them and bring the broadcast to everybody that's watching at home. I'll take a quick peek at the schedule as I'm not sure off the top of my head what the next event is. All the events are on Sundays. The next event is going to be Sunday, December the 1st. That event's going to be called the Open Wheel Clash. That's going to be the big block modifieds at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Again, if anybody watching needs any info on how to be a part of that, the Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions has a Facebook page. We can get you in contact with anybody. They've got, looks like another 8 events on the schedule. And again, that next one's going to be big blocks at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 on December the 1st. Well, upcoming for us here on the Buckeye Racing Network in just about an hour's time, we're going to be live with the League of Outlaws at Fairbury American Legion Speedway and their 40-lap feature event and a couple heats and all that, just like a typical night of racing, the next event in their new season schedule. And, of course, tomorrow night at about 8:15 Eastern Time, we'll be live with Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprints in the Harvest Cup. They're going to be at the dirt track at Charlotte. Again, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you know each and every time we go live. And then for this event, though, it's going to do it for us. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. We'll see you here in just a little while.